the Provocator, the Challenger. Most gladiators are circus freaks with strange equipment to amuse the mob. The Provocator is different. He is a professional. This is the gladiator who most resembles a real legionary. He carries the rectangular shield, scutum, the short gladius, and a closed helmet that protects the face without blocking the breath. But he has an advantage even we soldiers don't have: the cardiophylax, a square or rectangular metal plate on the chest. He is the only gladiator who wears torso protection. Why does this matter? Because it changes the fight. Without the risk of instant death from a cut to the heart, the battle becomes technical. Less gushing blood, more fencing. They almost always fight another provocator. There is no reach advantage, no net. It is a mirror, skill against skill. This is usually where rookies start their arena career. If you can survive a fair fight against an equal, maybe you are ready for the weirdness that comes later. The Provocator is the honest man's fight in a dishonest sport. The Scissor. If you thought the arena couldn't get any weirder, meet the Cutter. This is the armored nightmare designed for one single purpose: to destroy the Retiarius. He wears the same heavy armor as the Secutor: smooth helmet, greaves, right arm protection. But look at his left arm. He has no shield. He doesn't even have a hand. The entire arm is encased in a hardened steel tube that ends in a crescent-shaped blade. A sharp, brutal hook. This isn't a weapon. It's an industrial tool. The Retiarius throws the net. The Scissor slices it with the hook. The trident attacks. The Scissor blocks it with the metal tube and pushes forward. Once he gets inside the reach, the fight is over. That hook doesn't make clean cuts like a gladius. It rips. It severs tendons, necks, and limbs with sweeping motions. He is an offensive tank. He trades the defense of a shield for the ability to turn his opponent into ribbons. It is the closest thing to a killing machine we have ever put on the sand. The Bestiarius, the beast hunter. Technically, I'm going to correct you here. A gladiator fights with a sword, gladius, against another man. The Bestiarius fights against teeth and claws. They are the morning attraction, the warm-up. But ask any veteran who has the harder job. The Bestiarius wears no heavy armor. He can't. If you wear 80 pounds of iron against an Atlas lion or a tiger, you are just canned food. His defense is distance and speed. His weapons are the spear, venabulum, whips, and sometimes fire torches. They don't fight for honor or fencing technique. They fight for pure survival. An animal doesn't respect a surrender plea. It doesn't stop when the referee raises his hand. There are two types: the Venator, who is a skilled hunter showing off his craft, and the condemned thrown to the beasts for execution, damnatio ad bestias. But when you see a professional dodge a bear's charge by inches and drive the spear into the beast's heart, the Colosseum shakes. It is Rome's civilization, killing nature's wild chaos. The Crupellarius, the living tank. This is what happens when the Gauls decide they don't want to bleed. This isn't a fighter. He is a mobile fortress. Most gladiators have exposed body parts to ensure the blood flows. The Crupellarius does not. He is clad in mail and iron plate from head to toe. The helmet covers everything, leaving only tiny slits for vision. He carries a scutum shield and a sword. When he is standing, he is almost invulnerable. Arrows, spears, swords, everything bounces off. Sound invincible? Think again. The weakness is physics. The weight of that gear is crushing. He moves slowly, like a walking anvil. He overheats in minutes under the Roman sun. His opponent doesn't try to kill him. He tries to knock him over. Because once a Crupellarius falls on his back, he cannot get up. He lies there, flailing like an overturned turtle until his opponent, or the executioner, opens his visor and finishes the job. It is proof that in Rome, too much defense can be a death sentence. The Andabata, the cruel joke. If you want to understand the true level of sadism of the Roman mob, don't look at the executions. Look at the Andabata. This is not a respected warrior. It is comic relief. They enter the arena wearing chainmail and carrying lethal weapons. But there is a terrible detail. Their helmets have no eye holes. They fight completely blind. The crowd doesn't watch for skill. They watch to laugh. The Andabatai swing their swords at the air, stumbling into each other, slashing at the wind. To ensure they meet, attendants with leather whips stand behind them, herding them to the center by sound and pain. It is a fight based on hearing and pure panic. To a soldier, this is shameful. To take a man's sight is to take his dignity. But the people love it. They laugh when an Andabata attacks a shadow or falls face first into the sand. It is the final proof that in the Colosseum, cruelty is the highest form of entertainment. The Gladiatrix, the Amazon, Rome is a man's world. The army, the Senate, the Forum, it all belongs to men. But in the arena, sometimes, the rules break. Female gladiators were rare, exotic, and incredibly controversial. The Senate hated them. They said it was a disgrace, a sign of moral decay to see a woman fighting instead of keeping the house. But the mob? The mob loved it, and emperors like Nero and Domitian knew it. Domitian made them fight at night, by torchlight, making the spectacle even more dramatic. Unlike the men, they almost never wore helmets. The crowd wanted to see their faces, wanted to see they were women. They fought bare-chested and in loincloths, using a gladius and light shield. Don't think they were just forced slaves. Some were free women, daughters of knights, drawn by the fame and adrenaline that Roman domestic life could never offer. On the sand, they weren't mothers or wives. They were furies, and often they fought with a ferocity that put the men to shame. The Laquearius, the noose executioner. If the Retiarius is a fisherman, the Laquearius is a hunter of runaway slaves. They look the same from a distance. Light armor, protection only on the left shoulder, no helmet. But look at his hand. There is no net. There is a long rope with a sliding knot at the end. The Laqueus. His tactic is different. The netman wants to trap you to stab you with the trident. The Laquearius wants to hang you. He spins the noose above his head, waiting for a mistake. If he catches your arm, he pulls and off-balances you. If he catches your neck, the fight ends fast. He tightens the knot, cuts off the air, and drags you across the sand like a dog. Many say this class was born from actual executions, where criminals were lassoed and dragged to death. In the arena, they are fast, annoying, and lethal. They fight while running backward. For a heavy gladiator, trying to catch a Laquearius is like trying to catch smoke with your hands, only to end up with a rope around your throat. The Sagittarius, the archer. The golden rule of the arena is hand-to-hand combat, looking into the eyes of the man you are about to kill. The Sagittarius ignores this. They bring death from a distance. They use the reflex composite bow, a powerful Eastern weapon capable of punching through mail at 50 paces. They enter the arena armored, with pointed helmets and scale armor, looking like Parthian demons. Usually, they don't fight in single duels. That would be over too quickly. They are used in historical battle reenactments or to hunt wild animals from safety. But sometimes, a sadistic editor puts a Sagittarius against a heavy infantry gladiator. It is a cruel spectacle. The swordsman tries to advance, covering himself with his shield, while the archer circles, looking for a gap, an exposed foot, an uncovered shoulder. There is no clash of blades. There is no grappling. Just the hum of the string and the thud of the arrow. To a traditional Roman, it lacks honor. But no one can deny the terrifying precision. The Pantheon, the temple of all gods. Most temples are just stone boxes full of columns.